18 of the best movie monsters of all time. In an age when one's fears seem larger than life and the world always seems as though it's on the edge of collapse, the best monster movies of the modern age have made our fears look every bit as real as they feel. Want a chance to win an Amazon gift card? Watch till the end to find out how. Like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. From the classics to those more forward-looking, we've gathered the 20 best movie monsters bold filmmakers have provided us over the decades. We like to apologize in advance about the nightmares. It's time to revisit some of cinema's best creepy crawlies. The Thing. The Thing is a shape-shifting alien with the capacity to create and transform into the DNA of any of its prey. This means that the Thing has the inimitable ability to become anyone's worst nightmare at any moment, made even more tormenting by John Carpenter's pledge to frighteningly surreal practical effects. Whether your favorite is the iconic spider head or the grotesque transformed dog, the Thing is a monster with a capability to turn into the most terrifying thing of all, one of us. Xenomorph, alien. The Xenomorph is what alien nightmares are made of. Part machine, part natural perseverance, the alien that troubles Ripley moves with the kind of lingering assurance suitable of the creature's power. With rows of nested teeth and acid blood, the Xenomorph is a monster feat that, when it comes to pop culture at least, is truly unforgettable. Brundlefly, the Fly. There's no better Cronenberg video nasty than the dripping, gloopy Brundlefly, a shocking mixture of man and fly that confuses the deep humanity of Seth. The Brundlefly takes most of the film to arrive as the scientific experiment gently overcomes Seth's body, but while he barely lasts long before being sent out by his lover, it's a symbolic terror of becoming a monster yourself that brings the Fly to the pack. Godzilla. Although Gareth Edwards' fantastic and subtle blockbuster breathed fresh life to the age-old monster, it's hard to beat the 1954 Godzilla, which was born out of incredible loss and nuclear fallout. A physical incarnation of some of society's greediest sins and the ghost of terrible things past, Godzilla has iconic creature design nearly as affecting as its inherent politics. King Kong. You don't receive the name King of the Jungle for nothing. While Peter Jackson's 2005 film has its strong points, the perfect King Kong is still the 1933 film and remains one of the most bewitching and catastrophic of the movie monsters. The effects, for all their dubious aging, are cunning and admirable even years on, making the original Kong a huge success no matter how old the movie magic is. Frankenstein's monster. Frankenstein is hard to beat. Theoretically a zombie reanimated through technological skill and man's pride, it's a monster unacquitted with the rules of the world and his own power, as well as a monster overcome with the plight of human connection. He's disastrous, iconic, and deeply frightening. Reapers, Blade 2. While vampires have enthralled the cultural fancy for years, it's Del Toro that accelerated with his designs for the bloodsuckers. Taking the idea of a human pest quite figuratively in Blade 2, Reapers are a new class of vampire with an immutable jaw, exposing a deeply troubling ringworm-like sucker within. The transformations themselves are noteworthy enough, but to see them unfold from an otherwise normal vampire appearance makes the Reapers pop culture's most exact and heartrending restatement of vamps. The Pale Man, Pan's Labyrinth. While Pan's Labyrinth is packed with astonishing creatures, the real star of the film is shown for about 3 minutes in total. A shriveled and deeply unsettling humanoid monster with a taste for children. He's a clear metaphor for the cruel and callous government regime and specifically the hard-hearted Captain Vidal that turns Ophelia's world upturned. A cunning overturn of fairy tale tropes with an excellent design, The Pale Man is an upsetting sight whether you're seeing the film for the first time or the 50th. The Creature from the Black Lagoon. Where werewolves, zombies, and the rest of the creature feature set are terrifying because of their tenuous ties to humanity, the Creature from the Black Lagoon is terrifying because of his lack of one. A seemingly prehistoric, inhuman creature that embodies every innate fear about deep, dark water. Sporting some of the most inspired creature design of any monster on the list, thanks. It's hard not to wonder how a remake hasn't made its way to screens yet. Crawlers, The Descent. Neil Marsher's low-key, suffocating fright fest is a sight to behold thanks to its nuanced approach to loss and its utter dedication to fleshed-out, convincing characters. But it's also a thing of beauty for its intensely chilling crawlers. Humanoid cave dwellers with milky white eyes and skin, overgrown claws, and echolocation that announces their arrival even before their grotesque faces do. They're impeccable antagonists for our doomed spelunkers, and they're sure to occupy a particular room in your nightmares. The Predator. The Predator, like many of the daunting entries on this list, chooses to stay unseen for the majority of the film's running time, allowing director John McTiernan end the clock before the big reveal. Killing for sport and gathering trophies of his unknowing human prey, Predator couldn't be a more fatal monster adversary. But when it comes time to expose, the realistic evidence to his genius character design comes from Schwarzenegger himself. You are one ugly motherfucker. Gwoemul, the host. Huge, amphibious mutant. The terrifying lethal Gwoemul is about as gross and hazardous as a sewer inhabitant is expected to get, and is the fierce fuel for John Hubong's The Host. Sporting some brilliant monster design and some frightening, bubbling creature features, Gwoemul runs on pure evolutionary character, and it seems natural selection isn't on our side. The Behemoth, The Mist. Although it was fewer screen time than other appalling beasts in Frank Darabont's The Mist, the Behemoth, who, appropriately known as the impossibly tall creature, leaves the most impression of all the film's monsters put together. Slowly, quietly lurking through the mist and towering over everything in sight, the Behemoth is unnerving, mostly in its complete obliviousness to any of the human suffering it has unsuspectingly caused at its feet. The Rancor, Star Wars Return of the Jedi. There's a good chance that you can count on one hand the number of times Star Wars gave you nightmares as a kid. One of those nightmares was probably about Jabba's Rancor, a warty, ravenous little nasty that happily anticipated snacks in the form of anyone who irked Jabba. Perhaps more genius for his inherent sense of compassion than anything else, the Rancor also wears some astral creature design. Not quite mammalian, not quite reptilian, but most importantly, totally Star Wars. Want a chance to win an Amazon gift card? Like, subscribe, turn on notifications, and answer this question in comments. Which of these movie monsters is your favorite, and why? Winners will be chosen randomly in comments, so make sure to come back and see. The Aliens Attack the Block. When the anti-heroes of Attack the Block are asked to describe the unnamed aliens that plague their apartment complex, the closest we got to any kind of title is Gorilla Wolf Motherfuckers, which is as operative as any other of the bizarre and distinct otherworldly whatsits. Covered in pointed, pitch-black fur and sporting piles of bioluminescent fangs that compensate for their absence of any noticeable eyes, you'd be struggling to find a more brilliantly composed low-budget monster on this list. Audrey 2, Little Shop of Horrors. Directed by Frank Oz, Audrey 2 is just your regular, everyday, human-eating monster plant with a fondness for musical numbers. Equipped with ever-growing ivy arms and a monstrosity pink flapping tongue, Audrey 2 is the perfect foil to Rick Moranis' shrinking Violet Seymour, and an amusingly, disturbingly man-eating firm on spawning nightmares that are as extremely odd as they are truly frightening. Not sold? Just wait till Audrey's got an unsuspicious customer from Mushnik's flower shop deep inside her jaws. The Blob. The Blob. Debuting on screen back in 1958 with a compelling lead in a 20-year-old Steve McQueen, playing a teenager no less, the Blob is an alien life form that lives to suck, drawing people into its peculiar purplish form and increasing in size along the way. But the edge here goes to the Blob's 1988 repetition, which adds a troubling sharp quality to the Blob's slimy features, while still failing to provide a hazardous substance with any kind of logical drive. It blobs. Therefore, it is. Clover. Cloverfield. Truth be told, the Cloverfield universe so far has mainly been defined by the visual non-existence of a monster rather than its arresting presence. But it's an evidence to the filmmaker that such a small amount of screen time can make such a permanent impact. Deadly, toxic, and horrid as hell, Clover is an awfully cute name for one ugly monster. And we can't wait to see how he factors into God Particle. Did you find out how to win an Amazon gift card? Be sure to watch again to find out how. Be sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Thanks for watching, and be sure to check out our other videos.